Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the Ichimoku Bollinger Band indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 subscription, monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. Alright, as I said, today we will be testing the Ichimoku Bollinger Band indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 160 indicators. And out of those 160 indicators, 65 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of those 65 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right, so today's indicator. It is the Ichimoku Bollinger Band indicator. It's quite an interesting indicator. It is a TradingView member created indicator, and so of course you can find a link to it down below in the description. Basically what the creator has done is they have taken parts of the Ichimoku system. If you don't know what the Ichimoku system is, it is a quite complex indicator. It's called the Ichimoku indicator, Ichimoku cloud, sometimes it's referred to as well. But there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to the Ichimoku. Now, this one has taken just a few parts of the Ichimoku, and they have combined it with Bollinger Bands. And so most of you should know what Bollinger Bands are, or have at least heard of them. And so there's not a whole lot to Bollinger Bands. Basically, they are a channel of bands, upper, lower, and a middle line, and they contract and expand with volatility of the market. And so like I said, this indicator is quite interesting. The creator basically has created an Ichimoku, the Ichimoku cloud, basically out of Bollinger Bands, and then added in the lagging span, I believe it is. Let me double check. Yeah, lagging span. And so one of the main features of the Ichimoku indicator, and the reason why it is sometimes called the Ichimoku cloud, is that there's a cloud system on the Ichimoku. It's really hard to explain without actually having it up and looking at it. But basically, there is a cloud on the Ichimoku system that flips from red to green and has a background colored in red or green, depending on which way it has flipped. And so that is an indicator to go either long or short. And that is basically what the creator has done here. And then, of course, there is the lower and upper bands of the Bollinger Band system itself. And then, like I said, of course, the lagging span. Let's go in and see if we can't... let's see here. There we go. So here, this gives us a little bit better idea of what is going on here. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is this, just to make it a little bit easier. Just a little bit easier to see. Let's go ahead and just throw it down here on this pane below. Now, I am also going to go in and I am going to change the colors here a little bit, and I'm going to bump up their visibility to, say, 60. Bump these up here. Oh, come on, 60. There we go. All right, so now we can see things a little bit more clear. And so you have this cloud system, and this is, again, the part of the Ichimoku system that they call the cloud. And it kind of goes along, and as the upper and lower bands are crossing either up or down, it is painting this cloud that follows with price action. And that often is used as a signal to go long or to go short. And so that's basically what we have here. And then, of course, we do have the Bollinger Band itself, but the creator really didn't seem to acknowledge the fact that the Bollinger Band upper and lower band kind of channel should be really used at all in the indicator. Basically, from what I could tell, they referred to the cloud, which I believe is, I think it's a double set of Bollinger Bands, the middle line that is crossing up and down. I could be wrong. I haven't really looked at the code, but I believe that's what's happening. And I believe as it does that, it's painting this red and green. And now, like I said, the creator didn't really reference the Bollinger Band itself, the upper and lower Bollinger Band. I mean, I guess technically you could use that as an indication of, kind of strength or volatility in the market. But what I thought was interesting is that they did reference the lagging span. And so the lagging span, and I'm going to go ahead and just bump up the visibility all the way. There we go. The lagging span is a rather interesting part of the Ichimoku system as well. And so whereas most indicators lag behind price action just ever so slightly, some project, and actually in the Ichimoku system, the cloud itself projects forward. And so again, if you've never seen the Ichimoku, never played with it, I suggest you go take a look at it. I believe we've actually done a couple of videos on it as well, if you're interested in looking at the Ichimoku. But the cloud itself on the Ichimoku system, if I remember right, projects ahead of price action, and so it's kind of a future indicator, or a forward projecting indicator. And then the lagging span actually projects or lags way far behind. And basically, what it is it's kind of an oscillator of price action that is set. I'm not sure the exact amount, but quite a few periods backwards. And so if we actually take this, let me do this and throw it back up here. The way that the lagging span can be used is that as price action is breaking either below or above, that can be an indication of a trend strength. And so if the price action is breaking below the lagging span, that can be an indication of a downtrend, a strong downtrend. And if it's breaking up above the lagging span, that can be an indication of a strong uptrend. And that's kind of how the creator hinted towards using the lagging span with this system. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it works too well. I think it's strangely enough, and no pun intended, I think it lags really bad. And so a perfect example of that is just, I mean, right here for a prime example. I mean, we get a strong push to the downside, and price action doesn't break below that lagging span until way down here when the move is almost completely over. And so, in my opinion, the lagging span is not a good way of identifying the main trend if you wanted to identify it at all. And so I believe the best way to trade this really is to just trade the red and green cloud portion of the indicator. And so basically we have this. And so, and again, I believe what I'm going to do is go ahead and drop this back down here and keep it below price action, just so that way it's a little bit easier to see. And so basically what we're going to do is when the cloud here goes red, that's going to be a short, and when it goes green, that's going to be a long signal. And yeah, pretty simple setup. Not a whole lot to it. And so that's how we are going to put it to the test. And so let's go ahead. Actually, I'm not gonna mark out price action, mainly because we are bumped right up against 2016 here, where we had this really crazy drop in price action. And so I think price at this point in 2016 was still kind of trying to recover, get its bearings back in. And so mapping out support and resistance areas may not be the best way to go in this instance. And so now keep in mind, in the last video, I did touch base a little bit on Fibonacci levels and keeping an eye on the Fibonacci retracement. And I had mentioned the extension. Even though I don't use the extension a whole lot, I really use the Fibonacci retracement more than anything. And so it's always handy to kind of have an idea of where support and resistance is, and a good way of doing that is to use the Fibonacci levels. And if you're not greatly familiar with Fibonacci, then what you can do is, let's see if I can spell here. There we go. There is this indicator here that gives you an auto Fibonacci that you can throw on screen, and you really don't have to do anything specifically to it yourself. And so you can go in and you can play around with the different levels that you that you want set on the Fibonacci retracements and stuff, and fiddle around. You can research and look up what the best Fibonacci levels are, and then kind of map those out on the auto Fibonacci, and then you can use those as a price action map, as a support and resistance kind of price action map. Now, of course, it's dynamic. It doesn't really stay the exact same place constantly, but it's definitely worth a shot to play around with. And so we'll keep it on screen just to kind of watch it and see what it does for a little bit. You can see here that it's bouncing around, it's changing, doing different things. Let's see, we pick up our first signal right here. That was a good signal right there. And so you can keep an eye on price action and how it is reacting to the different Fibonacci levels. And now, of course, again, this is changing rather quickly, but always a possibility to spot support and resistance areas as well. Let's see. Get a short right here on this one. Not sure if we got to take profit. We didn't there. Did we get stopped out? No, we didn't. And then it eventually made its way down. I'm going to go ahead and silence our Fibonacci levels, and we'll just eyeball price action, kind of see what it does, see if we can get a feel for what's going on with it. There is a move to the upside, and that one definitely got us to take profit as well. Price action really isn't doing much. It's not making any real strong move. There we go. There's a pretty strong move to the upside. This is just kind of, ranging to the side there for a while. Looks like we picked up a short on the Fibonacci, or the Ichimoku Bollinger bands here. And it turned red for just a moment. Right in here. That would not have worked out for us very well. Definitely got us stopped out. This price action pushed up here pretty hard. Doesn't really seem, again, to be... I guess you could mark off this area as support and resistance right in here. Did come up and touch it, and is now starting to kind of bounce off of it. Not doing anything really certain at this point. There we go. It broke up above it. Is now kind of ranging right above that area. We did pick up a long over here. Let's double check it. That would have gotten us to take profit. There we go. Price action really at this point is stalled out. You can see it's starting to roll over. It made a push, push up, a slight pullback, another push up, barely making a higher high, and now it's rolling over on this side right here. This is a pretty good indication that price action is weakening, and we're probably going to see a move to the downside in the very near future. We also see here that our cloud, our Bollinger Band cloud, is also starting to narrow in on itself, and it's starting to roll over on the top side here. And so that can be also a really good indication, kind of a leading indicator to what price action might be up to. So let's go ahead and play it out here. At this point, fairly confident that we would get at least a reasonable move to the downside, get at least to take profit. Let's go ahead and play it out and see. Now, unfortunately, if we would have been following if we would have entered right there, we would have gotten stopped out as it pushed up right here, barely taking out the take profit, or the stop loss there, before it finally rolled over and then started to push its way down. Now, here is something that that is, relatively debatable. When you are taking a price action setup like this, and you're really starting to just call a reversal before it's really confirmed that a new trend is set in, it is my recommendation that you set your stop well out. And so it can be really tricky if you're not careful, and if you don't have a good record of getting these right. You can definitely get yourself into some trouble really quick. But keeping your stop right above the last highest high is almost definitely going to get you a stop hunt and get you stopped out quite often before price action turns around and goes in the direction that you originally thought it was going to go in. And so now, as far as where exactly you should put your stop, it again is kind of debatable, but definitely not at the stop that we would use on a trend trading system. And so you wouldn't set it at 1.5 ATR. You would put it a good deal above the last highest high. But we're not going to go into that a whole lot right now. running out of time. This video is already starting to get pretty long, and so let's go ahead and bang out some more signals on our indicator here. See what we can get out of this guy. Fortunately, it seems to be getting us into trades right as they're starting to have a really strong pullback. There's a decent one right there. Let's keep on plugging along here. We'll get the last bits of these signals wrapped up pretty quick. And all in all, this indicator seems to be doing rather well. Not too bad. It's a little early to tell. Definitely haven't added them up yet, but it has its moments where it messes up a little bit, but then it seems to come back pretty quick. Go ahead here, moving along. Price action just kind of bouncing around, ranging out. It's not really sure where it wants to go. There we go, get a push to the upside. Looks like it flipped green on us right here for a second. Zoom in on this, yeah. It did, right about there. Then almost immediately went short, which didn't work out for us. And then over here, picked up a long, and that one did all right. All right, playing it forward here. We are now into December, narrowing in on the end of the year. Picked up another signal right there. And that one didn't do too well either. There we go, we're at the end of the year now. All right, let's see here. Let's add them up and see what we get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we have 14 signals all together. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winning trades. And so barely missing the 60% criteria that we look for. Yeah, it's, the indicators seem to be all right. It seemed to lag a little bit more than I would like. And yeah, that kind of cost it, when an indicator lags a little bit farther back than it should, sometimes it calls trades at really strange times. And this one, I could tell, was kind of a victim to that. There were moments where it was calling a trade, and there was like no reason why it should be calling that trade at that point in time. And so let me zoom in on one. Where was it? So like this one right here. This area right here on screen. There we go. All right, so this one right here, you can see that it was obviously heading up in a decent little uptrend. I mean, it wasn't a strong uptrend, but it was a decent uptrend nonetheless. And the indicator lagged just so far behind that it wasn't able to recognize that price action had stopped coming down right here and started to move up in a significant little uptrend move. Now, it did continue down a little bit before it then eventually pushed its way up. But yeah, and then it kind of did the same thing right over here in this area where it just lags ever so slightly, behind just enough to where it gets itself into trouble, too often than it should. And so, yeah, unfortunately, this one's going to go on the no list, and we'll move on to the next indicator from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, all right, everybody, I will see you on the next video.